Yama bibi adwo bibi akwa ba be pim e won 2 TV. We call this show Inside Ghana. From now, ekosi 9:30 p.m. Yaba betena se na ye di nkomo na ya dwene man ho kwa be fa so betimi aboa mo man nchekere ye betimi akonkan ene nanumre menu mienu nya ye kan bom ba bi betimi apejo man fa pem papa e be kwa akopim no ena menu mienu ya be kan bom na ye di show no e di abro medin e Franko Unauthorized betimi afra me Franko the hater producers na bom ho bodo maka bibia bo ani light MC ba bia obi bia e bo na adwuma kama kama abibia betimi akonkan da bia metena sa me catch say this particular show is an independent show. Neutrality. Yet we look at the matters, the merits and demerits of the matters. We go into it. Now you didn't know Eddie Abreu. The Biameka may say today, maybe I might be in the good books of the New Patriotic Party, or China, I might be in the bad books of the New Patriotic Party. Today, I might be a hero for the National Democratic Congress. Tomorrow, I might not be a hero for them. Be a political party, be a maybe a ne. Ebe call lie, so you'll be happy with it. Maybe tomorrow, call lie. So you might say, Ebia Franko, Onyeni Papa, and I say, Bia Franko hard. But the reality is, truth always stands. Today, Bia Metnaha, I think about objectivity, I think about honesty, and I speak the mind of the ordinary Ghanaian. The Ghanaian new person, what you know, and I'll make a editorial. I didn't come to please anyone. Because I came to please the ordinary Ghanaian. Problems are Ghana for come, no. That is what they are expecting and demanding from me. Some of our better I met Makani Yadi Internet and common a doors in pa. Obasanes were enter kwa a cast on few days to elections 2024 on the 7th of December. And the Electoral Commission or Martinase on the ballot on Abba and 170 saying ye ninya ever go ed amount. John Dramani Mahama or Danama saying Sanso and already Dr. Mahmoud Bamia or Danama saying Alan Quadritre Mantain or Danama saying Chada or Danoma saying ye didn't ebre which my dear case so and so actually you show me say betime din komo elha Kwame Owusu Danso Esquire vice presidential candidate for movement for change ye hwem so abekan ho yetime din komo na ye bisare den na Alan ahu wene ho e DNT na if you look at movement for change alliance or form ye amount for or well established amount for when it comes to political arena na Alan ebe prefers you go for this young man e dey be into kwakofano what is the future for the movement and when something saying ye na eba e wo say djumadi case so ye be say boss e dey awam shane so mame said the National Democratic Congress they are registering their displeasure to the Electoral Commission they no more come say if you look at the voters register and not credible into more catch Ghana for or more catch opinion leaders or more catch civil society and painful nyina say but they not do need or me count mo na yenya a credible register ahead of election 2024 and then omunion MPP for so can na MPP for almost saying they saying say voters register no a credible and I say not credible and one sent saying you didn't know about we any sembebre na ya kaboma ya di ebro marika catch us from now ekosi 9:30 p.m. ye baba betenase ye baba dinko ye baba rerun semum am what mati bi ase obe ma hwem live e YouTube o bonne 2 TV boss search engine num o press so na no ase ayidi ama na bibia atimi akokama ye di nkomo ye say producers ma me ho kwan say me count text message and I say bia eno so achi no producers ma me ho kwan say me bie phone lines and I say me bie phone lines e ama na bibia atimi akonka into live o hwe on 2 TV record the show Inside Ghana there bia me say it is a neutral show that doesn't project or being biased to any political party. Makacho's entertainment room, sports room, politics room, 70% is about politics because ente ye kwa kotwaba na bana ye kwa kotono ehun 70 say etnasia esi etimi din komo na ehwe se no ma esiko na obasane nso a na watching the National Democratic Congress the NDC the largest opposition party or more Ghana ha almost said the Electoral Commission no ma ba ko me bi ho mo ntiase o mo gitum sabato na ye ba beto no the Electoral Commission no bi o mo ye no they are not happy with it o mo gitum say if you look at register and credible o mo say register no ma bi kwaso ho mani nyi ho irregularities bi wom and o mo bomb paye and they are playing to the Electoral Commission so the Electoral Commission bet medi nkomo now they should iron all differences and Roma enkoso ye e voters register them no o met manya adageti na kono met mati biase they are even demanding for a forensic audit so met mawuram na fiat medi nkomo ba bia problems wo ba bia gitum say da bi e had problem ha yenyim famfiri ha inconsistency ha as had bukata bi ha no yenyim nyam famfiri ho na ye kwa hwe video na yakwa akɔhwɛ the National Democratic Congress time no mani abrea omo eye omo demonstration na if you look at amanfo edi omachi ene mpanfo edi omanim ene emo nsama omo ka yen konkɔhwɛ na video ne yakwa akɔhwɛ no today I want to paint a certain kind of picture to you obi bia wo hwɛ bia no I want to paint a certain kind of picture to you. These two political parties, the NPP and the NDC, later I'm limiting myself to the NPP and the NDC. They said, if you look at 32 years of democracy, you have about 16 years, NDC at so 16 years, the New Patriotic Party at so anytime, party that could be our opposition, they always have issues with the Electoral Commission. I want to state it again. They say, anytime they are, if you look at the NPP and as NDC, baku opposition, no, anytime baku opposition, they always have issues with the Electoral Commission. Mean that. So maybe the NDC is in opposition, and NDC will come out to say, I gave you the Electoral Commission. If the NPP is in opposition, anytime the Electoral Commission they have issues with it. I'm going to take you from 1992, Eba 2024. And anytime these two political parties obiawo opposition biano, they have issues with the Electoral Commission. They have problem with the Electoral Commission. And that is one thing we have to talk about. Now if you look at the Electoral Commissioner, you say it is an independent body. If you look at Electoral Commissioner, you say it is an independent body. Now the Electoral Commission is an institution. It is an institution. And the Electoral Commission, and any public open institution, don't say there commissioners. We be now nipa ba ko rekatos or not the one the returning officer in terms of presidential elections. Always I say this: election is a process, not an event. Election is a process, not an event. It be a mekata sabot na wo me kwa akotwa ba. Na we ni to say da ye kwa akotwa ba on the 7th of December. And ebe mo oni abra, woni be ba ho say dey too late. It's too late. And if you look at politicians, they know. And like MPP atena by for 16 years, NDC atena by for 16 years. They know that election, it is not an event, but it is a process, and they have to follow this kind of process. So just as why you're ready, I will tell you something. The National Democratic Congress registered their displeasure to the Electoral Commission. Now, make come once and be show. You have a video name. Registering their displeasure to the Electoral Commission. Or more catch the Electoral Commission say if you look at Agyapong here, they feel and think that the Agyapong is not credible. That is the NDC. Almost say if you look at voters register now, 2024 now, they don't believe in the genuinity of this kind of register. Omujitum say, "Sa elections no man Now, if you listen to the Electoral Commission, the Electoral Commission is also telling the NDC to bring out their evidence or evidences. Fabra, Yentinase, let's have a dialogue. Let's iron differences. Problems are what solve that kind of problem for free. Now, we are Ghana. I want to tell you something. Since 1992, these two political parties, anytime we are going for elections, Baku opposition and Baku any is leader. I want to repeat it again. Say, since 1992, the opposition on the Electoral Commission in the Atosu Yenu, the Anosu by or the Electoral Commission in Today, I'm going to take you from 1992 Edward BC 2024. How these politicians they deal with in Okroma. These politicians, they do what? Also, there be what's mentiasia and a mentiasia and a normal bebre. Bene NDC for Nyabre. The NDC are telling Ghanaians say, if you look at voters register now, or more catcher now, and not credible. They even say that they should even do a forensic audit. Just something they should do a forensic audit. Meaning say, we should do a lot of investigations about this particular album. Almost say, baby are step answers in one, baby are problems in one, they solve the problems. So they are saying that they have the evidence. They have the evidences. Now, if you listen to the electoral commission, I must say, and yes, more form of evidence, now, that is my picture number one. The meaning of electoral commission. Yes, or say, act establishing the commission, NTA. Or say, the electoral commission is mandated to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of elections and referendums. Learn how we went from proposed legislation to a legislative act in 1992. Now, if you look at the electoral commissioner, the electoral commission by the constitution of Ghana, say they can make sure that elections are because of Ghana biano, they are going to do it. On the roadmap, so if you look at the electoral commission, it is an independent body. And the commission will catch us say, electoral commission, no, and you will be on Biano, they think about the interest and the welfare of Ghanaians first. That is how it should be. And what kind of Diana? And very, very simple. Electoral commission, when it gets to elections, more and less like a referee going for this kind of elections. Or say, the electoral commission is mandated to enforce, mandated, and the to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of elections and referendums. And to overshadow here, Ghana obi kwaba catch us or internal elections or bibiana. This is the panel call for the electoral commission or the electoral committee to come on board. So if you look at the electoral commission, these are the powers given to them per the constitution of Ghana. And it's a president is swear the constitution is sending someone or cast of Ghana for Yamubai, he's going to protect the constitution. And the constitution mean what to say any from more minor. So the electoral commission, as we are talking today, should be an independent body. Independent. He doesn't belong or they doesn't belong to any political party, not affiliated to any political party. They should think about the interest and the welfare of Ghanaians first. There should be a referee who is not biased. A referee to some match now or come no on kita any knowledge, on kita any primitive agenda be or they call. What Ghanaians are saying on the now, justice, my picture number 2, and I want to read something. I say, mode of appointment of the commission. I say, the Council of State nominates capable, responsible people of integrity to fill in positions. All members of the commission are appointed by the president. I say, the Council of State nominates capable, responsible people of integrity to fill in positions. All members of the commissions are appointed by the president. And it's here. You said the electoral commission should be an independent body. Electoral commission will be to me in case what they say so hand of God be manipulate you. And your case will be independent. Your case will be independent. Means I do not be all your piano. The person is working according to the rules and regulations of the organization that he or she belongs to. And to be with manipulating. And it's how to come say, oh, yeah, papa. That means you have to be independent. But look at this. You're saying the president of the Republic of Ghana have that prerogative power in making sure, say, when the electoral commission form penny for. We will come back to it and we'll talk about it. Now, that is my picture number 3. Yanko. Now I'm going to take you from 1992 and over. Then we try to understand, say, these two political parties, anytime we go for any elections, anytime we are going for elections, before, during, and after elections. So party opposition, they always have issues with the Electoral Commission, both the NPP and the NDC. Both the idea NDC for Canada credibility about the voters register and this is not the first time you said you. This is not the first time. Anytime you are going for elections, this kind of things a pop up, and he tells you say, and some to make sure say, "Sadly, you share any free ho." Now, if you look at the other TV, I want to show you something. In 1992, J.J. Rawlings won the election. I want you to look at something. I'm taking it back to 1992. Where the Dennis law was say new patriotic party versus the Electoral Commission and another Supreme Court Accra 1993-1994. Now I'm picking you from 1992 back. You talk about in 1992. You talk about in every year. J.J. Rawlings won the elections. Now after winning the elections, the NPP said say about one year in 1992 no, they don't believe in the genuinity of the elections. They feel and think say their people were intimidated. They feel and think say the elections was rigged to the 1992 elections. And today we are say in 1992 the NPP member of parliament didn't go to parliament because they feel and think the election now a course. So in 1992 no, it doesn't represent the true and fair reflections of the election. So if you look at 1992, after see a the new patriotic party, they did something. And I'm taking back into archives. Your history, your precedent, and idea is in there, and then no, and idea because these two political parties, if Baku opposition, the opposition say will behave. The not so power no say will behave. Now the power no so call opposition, the also opposition no only is in the fine. Now the also so power no so call opposition only is in the problem. Now give me picture 4. Young Franko. Thank you. So relax and watch. What say? New Patriotic Party versus the Electoral Commission and another 1993. I'm saying I'm picking from 1992. Me do back crack. Unless we do something about this, and I'll tell you. Now the akufo-addo said we should not be citizens, we should not be spectators, but we should be citizens. My duty and responsibility as a journalist. And I said, 1, I should try and come and educate and enlighten you. Secondly, I should be one person who is neutral and tell you the honest truth and tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. The truth always stands. Now, Nana Akufo-Addo with him, Philip Addison, Alex Quainer for plaintiff, Air Forcing, Attorney General with him, Mrs. Adusa Amankwa, Chief State Attorney, and G.K. Ava, almost also answer my ebayno. So, oha the year 1992 year 2 about Nana Akufo-Addo, the new patriotic party, who said election na year 2 in 1992. They feel and thought say elections it wasn't credible. Now I'm going to read something for you. But was say general background and outcome of the 1992 elections. Now, if you look at the 4th paragraph, and I want to read it for you, was say the 4 parties that contested the presidential elections: People's National Convention, National Independence Party, People's Heritage Party, and the New Patriotic Party decided to boycott the legislative polling despite attempts by the Commonwealth Observer Group to persuade them otherwise. They allege of acts of intimidation and harassment of their supporters and members by the government and complain of its refusal to revise the voters register. And since 1992, people have had issues with the voters register. Since 1992. That is why Philip Addison, Nana Akufo-Addo, they will go to court and say they want to challenge the Electoral Commission. Say, when you first organize abano, and if you look at register na electoral ban in 1992, they still say they be enchant and they feel and think that it's wrong. Enter make sure I deal with a history hold that. So since 1992, and I then draw back kakra. So now the down akufo-addo mo court no. One, they are saying intimidation cause, harassment cause. Secondly, they have to revise the voters register. Voters register no. As I revising the voters register. When in 1992, just as I want people to see the lead counsel for the new patriotic party ahead of their court issues. When your Supreme Court Accra, 1993-1994, date 16 September 1993, Nana Akufo-Addo with him, Philip Addison and Alex Kweno for the plaintiff. The meaning said, MPP, the new patriotic party, had issues with the EC in 1992. 1, intimidation. 2, harassment. 3, when it comes to the voters register, they have a problem with the voters register. So it tells him that since 1992, Bano, idea we basically we talk about it and we continue to talk about it. Now in 1996, fast forward, Yakoko Pemo Court. In 1996, the MPP registered their displeasure to the EC again. The MPP, they registered their displeasure to the EC, telling the EC say, "Kuna EC person fast they have issues with it. They don't believe in the credibility of the voters register. They feel in terms of elections, so instead of the electoral commission and the NDC they want to rig the elections. I repeat, they want to rig the elections. Now, fast forward in 2004. Now, in 2000, the new patriotic party won the elections. Now, if you look at the same voters register, here can wasem are credible, and the NPP having issues with the electoral commission. Dr. Afarijan, who was the boss at that time, and a man for this or no company or no or your NDC or your NDC no. Now, if you look at the 2000 elections, the NPP won the elections. You can never suppress the will of the people. If the people decide that they won't change, you cannot suppress the will of the people. And the question is also about to come and send the about to sign a runoff. Then the new patriotic party won the elections. Now in 2004, look at this. The NPP are having issues with the electoral commission from 1992, 1996. See, the NPP. No money is no problem. I'm a match say. Now the down akufo-addo court. And he was a lead counsel for the new patriotic party against the electoral commission. Now 1992, 1996, they are having issues with the electoral commission. In 2000, the NPP wins the elections in 2000. Now in 2004, Justice Fatou Sumami. In 2004, yes, NDC phone. And this is the funny aspect of Ghana politics. Well, say NDC tells EC not to give cause for suspicion. What said the NDC at that time? They were in opposition. NDC and after they were defending the Electoral Commission 1992-1996. Saying, if you look at the Electoral Commissioner in Juma or Bon Homodeno. Now in 2004, after the foreign elections in 2000, sworn in 2001, in 2000 for the same Farijan, Onwan Kasa and the returning officer for the presidential elections. He is the head of the Electoral Commission. Now the NDC, whereby Farijan, or whereby they won the elections on 2 occasions, whereby he was a presiding officer, a returning officer. Now look at what the NDC said. Was saying, NDC tells EC not to give cause for suspicion. Was saying, Mr. Emmanuel Intim Fojo, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, has caused the Electoral Commission not to do anything that will cause suspicion and thereby undermining the credibility of the December polls. Now they are even talking about transparency. They are talking about openness, fairness of contesting this kind of elections. You see, now the new patriotic party is in power. The NDC and first 1992 versus 1996 always jumped to the defense of the Electoral Commission. No Electoral Commission here. This is the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC in 2004. Listen to what he said. I'll repeat it for you. Or say, NDC tells EC not to give cause for suspicion. June 3rd, 2004, Mr. Emmanuel Intim Fojo, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, has caused the Electoral Commission or the EC not to do anything that will cause for suspicion and thereby undermine the credibility of the December post of the commission, complete transparency, openness, fairness of all contesting. Where be an catcher? Agyapong catcher on say. Now the NDC is in opposition. NDC was jumping into the defense of the EC from 1992 to 1996 to 2000. Now the NDC goes to opposition. Now NDC at just 4 years. 4 years, you know. Now the regional chairman of the NDC in Ashanti region say, about 1 year kwa kotono. Omo catcher Ghana for catcher EC for say, ma EC benim. Na EC no ma oye no. Roadmap or day bano. And no more person oye no. And you're suspicious. They feel and think that the EC, they are going to rig the elections for the new patriotic party at the expense of the National Democratic Congress. So this is the NDC in opposition. In power, they were defending the EC. Now in opposition, they have an issue with the EC. Now, Justice, give me another picture. Yes. NDC organizer accuses EC of rigging 2004 elections. See, I repeat it again. What say? NDC organizer accuses EC of rigging 2004 elections. The Electoral Commission, where 10th October 2000, the Electoral Commission has been accused of rigging the 2004 elections in favor of the new patriotic party. The Eastern Regional Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Mr. Agyapong, maintained that by deliberately burning ballot papers from that election, the EC helped the NPP to rig the elections to the detriment of the NDC victory. Where you're all Africa, anyway. Now you have the Ashanti regional chairman at that time for the NDC vilifying and chastising the EC, going after them, telling the EC, they say, Mono in 2004 elections, you know, the new patriotic party. Because you want to rig the elections for the new patriotic party. So MPP found in 2004. And this is the NDC talking. Now they are not more in power. They are in opposition. And look at the kind of things that they are saying. Today they are if they are in power, or must be different. If they are in opposition, or must be different. If they are in power, I dare be the electoral commission be a party in the again, a banner in the again. But if they are in opposition, I dare be electoral commission be a piano, whether credible or not credible, whether genuine or not, they have issues with the EC. These two political parties, let's be open. These two political parties. Now, in 2008 elections, I want to read something for you. Yes, in 2008, when your Wednesday sit against 2008, or say, NDC accuses EC, NPP of manipulating voter registration exercise. NDC accuses EC, NPP of manipulating voter registration exercise. Wednesday, August 6, 2008. Or say, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, the largest minority party, contested election 2008 on Wednesday, accused the Electoral Commission and the ruling patriotic party of deliberately mismanaging the ongoing voter registration exercise to create an unfair advantage for the ruling party. The NDC said the EC was deliberately creating artificial shortage of registration materials and by the NPP of acts of violence and intimidating at the registration centers. Now look at this. In 1992, the NPP said their members, the elections are rigged. They are intimidating them. In 2008, the National Democratic Congress say about 1 year in 2008, December 7th, the new patriotic party, they are in bed with the Electoral Commission. Say they are in bed with the Electoral Commission. On the Electoral Commission, say they want to create a certain kind of problem for the National Democratic Congress, whereby the NDC will not win the elections, but the NPP will win the elections through a rigging elections. And so critically, they are saying in 2008, say MPP by Abana MPP by no and meritable. MPP Nyajuma, they are going to use the NPP to suppress the will of the people. This is NDC talking. In 2008, take this. at that time, the NDC no opposition. So the NDC was having problems with the Electoral Commission. Now, give me another picture. I say, thank you. This is Professor Mills talking. When year 28 October 2008, I say, NDC has evidence of rigging. Mills. So the former president, already Adi John Evans Atamos of blessed memory, Yankopon fan the currency ye. Who tell Panasama Oka, I say, going for election 2008, the NDC were a lot of evidences proving say election year come in 2008. No, the Electoral Commission wants to connive with the new patriotic party and they want to rig the elections for the akufo-addo. Chasa me kachobi. When October, November, December, less than 2 months to elections, the NDC no mania break. Say there be about 2 years kono. See, you are extremely careful. The Electoral Commission and the MPP Beckham, they are going to rig the elections. And this is Professor John Evans Atamos. Nasma Okai. Now give me another picture. Nyanko, thank you. Most wants police easy against rigging elections for MPP. 18 July 2008. So Atamos Okawe October no, before say Okawe in October, he said this in July. Was say most wants police easy against rigging elections for the MPP. So if you look at the motive of the NDC going to this kind of elections in 2008, they painted a certain kind of picture. Say about 1 year kwakotono, the EC and the new patriotic party kwako kabum in say they want to rig the elections for Nana Addo akufo-addo. They want to rig it. And you know, Ghana for air to aba any president omopeno, the Electoral Commission will be in bed with a new patriotic party and they will suppress the will of Ghanaians. And Atamos was warning the EC, was warning Ghana police, telling them say they should make sure. Say, thank you. Most warns police EC against rigging elections for MPP. 18th of July 2008. This is Atamos. Surprisingly, we go into election 2008. You call 2008, we went for a runoff. You call for runoff, the NDC win the elections. That's why I make a show you. Yenyan to abano. Yes, easy in your correct. Yenyan to abano. Yes, easy voters register in your papa. Yenyan to abano. We have created a certain kind of picture. You the easy for us a tight corner. And your boy easy for him to catch on. But one year kwakotono. I do a kitamu Nansen person for the MPP and then making sure that Akufo-Addo becomes the president, His Excellency. Now, what class has been million? You the Dennis no bebre na de bende kasa bebre. Ye kokoto abano. A register which was not credible. A register ni yenyi no. That register no. Ye to bani no. That register made the NDC party in power. And this is the NDC in opposition. Look at the kind of things they said about the Electoral Commission. And what's it? Now, that is, take me to 2012. Thank you. This is the former president, John Dramani Mahama. President Mahama praises Electoral Commission. After say a year in 2012. Now after John Dramani Mahama, you as the president of the Republic of Ghana. You know, John Mahama, and no more position that they were attacking the EC and saying EC nyadie, EC ni money homodeno. This is John Dramani Mahama, who is now the president of the Republic of Ghana. Was say President Mahama praises Electoral Commission 22nd of February 2013. President John Dramani Mahama has showered praises on Electoral Commission for the feat that is chopped in the past and the present in its organization of elections in the country. And Utiha, first bullet in the part say, John Dramani Mahama person say, okay, Electoral Commission now, from 1992, Kwama first of handle elections, Kwama first of to man kono efe, and no already president no, or both the Electoral Commission baso, so my idea. Now open Electoral Commission, we are suffering you be a job mutum so my idea, a Ghana's Electoral Commission. It's also my idea. Ye to aba na se to aba ni wie na Ghana focus there be e se when the be president a omonfo bia ho omon kasa there be e bia ba we na dem ba ye ana we na dem ba ye e ma me appointment. They don't think about it. They think about the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian in making sure that there will be peace and we can go forward. This is John Dramani Mahama talking in 2013. Now let's go to 2012, and I want to read something for you. Yes, in 2012, the New Patriotic Party was also in opposition. NPP were opposition. The NPP also registered their displeasure to the EC, saying, no matter what EC for a year, they're not happy with the EC. They feel and think the EC, so the EC should be a referee. The EC should make sure the process is true and fair. No, they don't believe in the EC. They feel and think that the EC, they are in bed with the NDC. And come out first from voters register. Come out first from making sure the processes it is wrong. The voters register less credibility. And they are telling the EC that so demand the NDC is going to be problematic. This is the MPP in opposition. After Sir John Dramani Mahama power in 2009. Now matter 3 years, 4 years. No, the NPP says the electoral commission quite fast oil and jumano. No problem. They have a problem with the EC, and it's the EC irregularities. And I'm not voters register. One man when we are, it is going to create confusion in Ghana. Justice Yanko. Now, if you look at the NPP, we'll say NPP group accuses the EC. Thank you. NPP group accuses the EC of a vote rigging attempt. Now, watch this. The NPP is in opposition. We'll say the Western Regional branch of the Nana-Addo for president on Monday alleged that some people replicating biometric voter ID cards of unsuspected people. Mr. Samson Dakon, regional coordinator, announced this at the media encounter at Takrady on Monday. Now, what you almost say the East any NDC phone account come and said they want to rig the elections in 2012. Western regional branch of the Nana-Addo for president. And Utioba, thank you, my brother. I say the Western regional branch of the Nana-Addo for president 2012 on Monday alleged that some people are clandestinely replicating biometric voter ID cards and unsuspected people. Mr. Samson Nimako Dakon, regional coordinator of NOFP, announced this at a media encounter at Takrady on Monday. The Ghana News Agency observed that Mr. Dakun displayed photocopy of some of the voters' ID cards produced at Daku Krom, a suburb of Kojo Krom near Takrady. Mr. Dakun said the case has been reported to the Western Regional Police Command, which gave the assurance that the police, Justice Franko Sokakamame, with the Electoral Commission to investigate matters. Yes, investigate matters of the appropriate actions to be taken. So if you look at the NPP is in opposition. Now people who believe say only a true NPP for, they feel and think that the Electoral Commission is in bed with the NDC. And they feel and think say they want to rig the elections in 2012. This is the NPP talking. Now Justice, give me another picture and let me read it for you. Into what to feel me brother say some somehow. Ghana's opposition NPP protest presidential results in Kumasi. And listen to this. Way 2012, 19 December 2012, was said thousands of supporters of Ghana main opposition New Patriotic Party protested on Tuesday to demand justice and the return of people will by the country's Electoral Commission. We simply demand the return of our votes allocated to President John Dramani Mahama of the governing party. Local constituency chairman Odinwo Kwakwapia Koka stated, saying, we shall continue our process until our demand is met. And the New Patriotic Party in Ashanti region in 2012, at say if you look at election 2012, they don't believe in the EC. They feel and think the EC never hear John Dramani Mahama. Odinwo Kwakwapia only now only room to a copy and person about the regional chairman for Ashanti region for the New Patriotic Party. Almost say they are going to protest until say yes, people no voice no man and no call Madam John Dramani Mahama no. One bet never can another than Kwaku. They feel and think say if you go to Ashanti region, that is the bank room of the New Patriotic Party. And to easy no any end is for a can account boom and making sure say abana and another than Kwaku Faro no or Matty Adam John Dramani Mahama. And also another problem. If the EC doesn't address this kind of problem, they are going to have issues with the EC. Now, after saying this, let's watch the next move of the New Patriotic Party. Today in 2012, NPP goes to court over rigged elections. TTA, or say, today in 2012, NPP goes to court over rigged elections. The New Patriotic Party in 2012 headed to court to contest irregularities in the 2012 election results. The party accused the National Democratic Congress of rigging the elections. The NPP presidential candidate, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, accumulated 47.74% of the votes casted, was defeated by incumbent President John Dramani Mahama, 50.7%. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and NPP for say, if you look at that kind of elections a year in 2012, they feel and think that the election was rigged. The only option for them is go to a court of competent jurisdiction. They have to go to court. Sadly, MPP for the court, it helped the New Patriotic Party and it saved them. It became a blessing for the New Patriotic Party. Sadly, MPP for the court, and more proactive ahead of elections 2016. And when you said that, they can never rely on anybody. If you don't take your own destiny into your own hands, no one making sure when you the day of elections, that's what you do no year, you make them foul. So MPP went to court. Omoko pay more court no. Obasa den so a, and justice atukuma mo omo ye bibia wie said there be NPP for case no. Omo gitum say emwa. So Owe FM John Dramani Mahama is the president of the Republic of Ghana. Obasa den so a, that day the verdict came. It was on the 29th of August 2013. 29th of August 2013. Less than 6 minutes. Now, Justice Atuba will be here. Now, catcher said, the John Dramani Mahama is the president of the Republic of Ghana. So in 2012, NPP was in opposition. NPP had issues with the EC. But now, Justice, let's go to 2016 and let's look at something. Now, 2016, President Mahama praises Electoral Commission. Yanko, let's go to another video, another picture. Okay, so 2016 elections. This is Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. And listen to what Nana Addo Akufo-Addo said. Or say, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo calls for audit of voters register, 31st July 2014. And listen to this. Or say, our message to Dr. Afarijan and the Electoral Commission is simple. We need a register that truly represents those who are entitled to vote in Ghana. The current register is bogus. We are not interested in the blame game. We are only interested in doing what is right for our democracy. Let us all work together on this. Ghanaian elections should be the best, not to be West African elections. Now, if you listen to Akufo-Addo here, the president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo catch there say, if you look at election 2016 about the corner, he's telling the Electoral Commission, say, their voters register is bogus. Also, voters register no. I say it me audit about the voters register. Also, voters register no credible. Voters register irregularities wom. Voters register an inconsistency wom. And it's register the kokotwaba entime mwa. This is Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. At that time he was in opposition. And he was a flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party. And that's a sign to be him. This is Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. What can I say? He's telling the Electoral Commission, he said, yes, full speech. Then people get to know, say, this is His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo Nekasa. Going for, yes, thank you, my brother. Or say, calls for audit of voters register. And if you listen to Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, no person says, and he made this pronouncement on the 31st of July 2014. Was it the Electoral Commission? Because if you look at voters register now, one, the current register is bogus, underline word. The current register is bogus. And they are calling for an audit. Now, they are calling for an international audit of the voters register. NPP in opposition, they are saying, baby, a voters register, they want an international audit. an international firm or something to come and audit it. Now, there are problems. Let's try to eradicate this. Now, a credible register to go for the elections. This is another akufo-addo in opposition. Give me Samia Oku. Yes, this is Samia Oku for you. I say, current voters register not credible. Stop intimidating the EC. Samia Oku jabs NDC. I repeat, I say, some voters register in 2016. This voters register, it is not credible. It is not credible. And I didn't easy for any NDC for intimidating. At that time, Charlotte say, I did not ban a son of man. Oh, it is not going to happen. It is not going to wash. So, Samia Oku at that time, the national youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party said, Daddy, if you look at the voters register near the Kwakotwa Bana, some voters register near the Kwakotwa Bana, and you're credible. Some voters register irregularities, some voters register in and it is better you have to go for a new voters register. This is Samia Oku. Now, give me another picture. Thank you. When October 2015, NTA, I want you to read and listen to this. Was say, by her posture and utterances, the EC boss is setting the stage to deny the youth and the people of Ghana a new and credible voters register for 2016 elections. We will not sit down for our future to be toyed with. The cost of new credible voters register is cheaper than the cost of violence. Girls, it's time for the youth to rise. Justice Yankosro, we cannot afford to fail the masses in 2016. Youth revolution imminent. Youth revolution imminent. October 30th, 2015. This is Samia Oku. At that time, he was the national youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party. He had issues with the register. Was it register no? And not credible. Register no? You are using it to suppress the will of Ghanaians. Daddy, and some of my youth to no coin. You to Nankasa to a maba. No more chap and you mope. So the EC should do something about the voters register because that voters register is not credible. This is Samia Oku talking. And it tells you, say, that time, the NPP was having problem with the Electoral Commission. In 2015, going to 2016. Now give me another picture. Thank you. NPP demands National Voters Register Audit. When 19th of June 2015, 606. Or say, graphic online. NPP demands National Voters Register Audit. So in 2016, now when you're 2015, so about a year and a half to the elections, the NPP had issues with the Electoral Commission saying, if you look at this kind of register, they are telling them, say this register is not credible. They have issues with the register. And they feel and think that register should be a credible one. We should audit the register. And still, we are registering. Now, there be problems will be a few will be no. You need to feeling them from free. Now, make it sure say register na dey kwa akwato aba is free and fair. If you be any home, it ni pan ba is not going to about election rigging. So ni pan e weni aba na wa wene. Ni pan lusu aba na wa lusu. But how buyer? Wo kwan say obi ni AC be kan bom. No make sure say mbe wi aba nu de. We are not going to sit down for you. And this is the NPP talking. The NPP is saying, if you look at this kind of elections, that time, they are telling the Electoral Commission, we should get a credible. Now the catcher said that bogus register. Samia Oku catcher says, if you look at you register now, and not credible. Was still repeating is even talking about the Electoral Commission for boss. Was if you look at the posture and the attitude of the woman, at that time, the NPP was in opposition. And this is Samia Oku talking. Now, give me another picture. Thank you. The Ashanti Regional Branch of the New Patriotic Party is calling for an immediate auditing for the National Voters Register because of what it says are massive fraud and irregularities it has detected. The party says this must be done to set the parameters right for the 2016 general elections. at hurriedly organized press conference in Kumasi Sunday. The regional chairman Bernard Anchubo chairman Wuntumi showed documents. He said showed, for instance, discrepancies in the form 1A, which is manually collected primary data form of voters, as well as form 1C, which is biometric. And if you look at this kind of elections, Yeko 2016 elections started from another akufo-addo in 2015. Or say there be the voters register, there were issues with it. Samia Aku, the youth organizer, he talked on 2 occasions. One, say if you look at the EC register now, a bogus. And now the media too, Makai Diachero, was I ekasare for the Electoral Commission boss, Makai Ediachero, NPP Ashanti region, or 1.4 Chairman to Musa Babonte, they are condemning the register, saying it's a register in your papa. Now, go to the next picture, and I want to tell you something. Thank you. Be proactive. Deal with credibility issues. IEA to EC. October 23rd, 2015. Now, I want to ask a very simple question. That time, ask yourself, say, IEA, no, why and a boss? Who was the leader of the IEA at that material moment? Charlotte Osai, or no mom, and a electoral commission for boss was almost say, be proactive. Deal with credibility issues. So going for election 2016, the NPP and the NBC say, if you look at register now, papa, they don't have any problem with the register. The NPP is saying that they're having problems with the register. Now I almost say, almost catch Charlotte or say, be proactive. That's a status money. Almost say be proactive. Be proactive in your part. Say don't take reactive measures. Be proactive. Just say, that's all. Kind. Or say, be proactive. Deal with credibility issues. IEA to EC, October 23, 2015. Go and do your checks. At that material moment, why nana IEA for boss? You come there. IEA, why nana or your boss? Or cast ask me that Charlotte to say credibility issues. The woman should deal with the voters register, making sure say going for 2016 elections no problem be a man. Now this is the NPP registering their displeasure to the Electoral Commission, telling the Electoral Commission, now let's go and watch the NDC in 2016. NDC in 2016, the kind of thing they said in 2016, the NPP, they are criticizing the Electoral Commission constructively. They want to offer solutions. They have to make sure the problems are let's try to take off the problems. So the NPP is having a problem with the EC, and they are making sure the EC is not meeting Omabiasi. Take this. Now, Justice, let's go and listen to. Thank you. This is the NDC. John Dramani Mahama, November 18, 2016. Aka 1 month to the elections. The president of the Republic of Ghana at that time, the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, over the Eddie John Dramani Mahama. And listen to what John Mahama said in 2016. Or say, election rigging allegations, absurd nonsense. John Mahama. John Mahama person or say, a man for money abre, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo kasa, AE4 kasa, Samuel Uku kasa, NPP paying for kasa. Sa no more kasa. If you look at voters register and any papano, a man focus as a voters register and him here, and no matter cost organ and any papano. People registering their displeasure coming from the NPP, no, or where for John Dramani Mahama, just as fat so. John Mahama is in power as a president of the Republic of Ghana. He is cool with the EC. He sees nothing wrong with the EC. If you look at the cardinal activities of the EC, he's in bed with the EC. Listen to John Dramani Mahama. That's a fat so. And listen to what Mahama will say. The former president John Dramani Mahama, National Okai in 2016, close to 1 month to the elections, was say, what about 20 piano? I absurd nonsense. The same John Dramani Mahama, and listen to what John Mahama said, was say, Ghana's EC, a truly independent body, Mahama in 2016. I repeat, Ghana's EC, a truly independent body, Mahama in 2016. Now John Mahama is telling us, say, organization, cardinal principles. Now a back to one say, Now they don't joke about their credibility and integrity, and they think about the ordinary Ghanaian. So they are not going to suppress the will of the people. They make sure that Ghana it will be a true and fair reflection for you. Nipa na person be president no. Some for no mo hwɛ saa adwumakuo no so no. Omo ye true credible. This is John Dramani Mahama talking in 2016. Whereby he was a commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Whereby he was a president of the Republic of Ghana. The Mama na kasa you. Was it just a sign for so? Was it easy near the This is John Mahama talking in 2016. So I tell you, these politicians, when you're extremely careful, sometimes you have issues with them. So John Mahama, also the Nediaba, and that was what John Mahama was saying. John Mahama said, a truly independent body, Mahama in 2016. Now, thank you. Ofoswampofo, at that time, a big man in the NDC, director of elections, the national chairman, he's one person. He is an influencer in the NDC. He is a big man in the NDC. Say so, the national chairman, I'm on the ketwa. Now, what then I say, don't get betuno. Focus Romami, justice. Focus Romami. And listen to what Ofoswampofo said in 2016. Was say, go and challenge persons illegally registered in the voters register. Ofoswampofo. This is Ofoswampofo talking. Ofoswampofo Anya Hekrano, a director of elections, the national chairman, he's a big man in the NDC. At that time, MPP from Yabra more Kasa Debi. If you look at irregularities, no man said that voters register. They are saying that we should do forensic audit. We should make sure say an independent firm be institution be no matter making sure so more hard. Listen to what he said. Say, go and challenge persons illegally registered. This is the man talking. Ofoswampofo was say or catch the MPP for say kasa na mo kasa esu nim faso. So mo any problem go and challenge the EC. Hefa na adebeko a court of competent jurisdiction. This is Ofoswampofo from the NDC. Justice, let's go to the next picture. Me say ne I'm bringing me do back kakra. Yes. General so no. Silence does not mean consent. I said don't get here on register. And uti I said don't get here. I said don't get here to also talking about the register saying no they don't have any issues with the register. They feel and think that the register no is a credible register. So going ahead of election 2016 no, they are telling the MPP say massa muni case dia. Let's go to the next picture. Now listen to what I said after saying this. They said in 2016. After saying this, I said made another statement. Thank you. Just I said make another statement. And the statement that he made it on the 8th of April 2016. Thank you. Disregard NPP noise for new voters register. I said 8th of April 2016. I said say or catch the Ghana for the NPP is saying I said to make sure say something new voters register was a noise. So because I say what can noise I just for so ba kukrani so when some na what can and not relevant what can as soon for so they are telling us and they are telling the ordinary Ghanaians say if you look at if some voters register for 2016 now and you're credible so they should go for this kind of elections. This is I say because say disregard NPP noise for new voters register. I say now justice, let's go into 2020 then I'll draw my final conclusion on matters for you. 2020 now if you look at 2020 elections before say about 2020 elections. Now the NPP wins the elections in 2016. John Dramani Mahama say Ghana opposition candidate Mahama rejects fraudulent election results. And you tell John Dramani Mahama, John Mahama say about 2 in 2020 no. If you look at results na eba na enya no kre enya papa is not genuine, e fake because the electoral commission and the EC Kambomu and they making sure so omu wi abanum e de man na do dan kwa akufo-addo. Let's go to the next picture. Ghana's election 2020. John Mahama, NDC rejects the results as a flawed election. John Mahama na obo isi nabaso in 2016. Also we are competent. Ohwe kwa mfa so we adwuma akono efe. Wase ohwe nkofo wo ho mo ye adwuma ne institution na when it comes to integrity and credibility you cannot joke with them. John Mama is in opposition now. 2020 elections. John Mama say about turn your tone in 2020 elections. You know, MPP for we are Benum. This is John Mama talking. Go to the next picture for me. What say? Ofosu Ampofo on alleged EC plot to rig election 2020 in concert with the NIE. Now let's go back. In 2016, Ofosu Ampofo is telling us say the NPP are complaining about irregularities. The NPP have a challenge with the voters register. The NPP are saying that we should get a new voters register. Thank you. The NPP are saying, say, if you can register now, we should do an audit about the register. Thank you. So, Ofosu Ampofo in 2016 is not the same Ofosu Ampofo in 2020. Ofosu Ampofo no, is Nabaso in 2016. The same Ofosu Ampofo is having challenges with the EC in 2020 elections. Into the year, was say Ofosu Ampofo on alleged EC plot to rig election 2020 in concert with the NIE. Into almost NIE for no, NEC for no can't boom, no more we are banning for the new patriotic party. This is Ofosu Ampofo. In power, he said a different thing. In opposition, he is saying a different thing. Now let's go. EC and NIA planning to rig 2020 elections. NDC alleges. Where May 14th, 2020. Ofosu Ampofo biem wasiaba wasi debi masa mekano. I want to re-echo it. I want to say it again. The NPP and the EC and NIA mo kabum ombeso mu wiabanu for nanado danko akufo-addo. This is Ofosu Ampofo, a big man in the NDC. In 2016 was praising the Electoral Commission. Today is going after the Electoral Commission. Now yanko justice. Asiedun Ketia accuses the EC of seeking to change the electoral laws. This is Asiedun Ketia. In 2016, was say, Wabeka Electoral Commission once and you are just making noise. What's a man can and not relevant? Yes, per what he's saying. And Asiedun Ketia in power was defending the EC, was with the EC. Say it's a EC, did the EC be a papa. Fast forward in 2022, Asiedun Ketia say, EC no air carbon, some person must election rules no any regulations no. Now let's listen to Asiedun Ketia again. Just the same call. NPP orchestrated our defeat in election 2020. NPP, EC orchestrated our defeat in election 2020. Asiedun Ketia, 17 December 2022. And which Asiedun Ketia was say the NPP didn't win the elections meritably. In 2020 elections, NPP man won ban meritably. But NPP for no every abanum only easy for kabomu no mu wi abanum no ene man na dan ko akufo-addo e the second term. This is Asiedun Ketia. Twahafato twafato. Now let's go to the next picture. Thank you. This is Asiedun Ketia, and listen to me critically. Okasa asamo nyawie no. Asiedun Ketia person be the national chairman of the NDC. Chasa make catch no. Asiedun Ketia say na niabre person be the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress. And yesterday na niabre, he's touring all the constituencies and he's preaching his gospel to the internal people of the NDC to vote for him. Surprisingly, but when the meet can you tell now? Asiedun Ketia say NPP EC orchestrated our defeat in election 2020. Asiedun Ketia. Now listen to Asiedun Ketia over here. Or say elections in court. Asiedun Ketia in alleged leaked audio. And when Asiedun Ketia be catch you say, if you look at election 2020, Omoto Abano, chairman of Ofosu Ampofo catch you say, they are going to build a robust software. They are going to make sure say elections no more con their software now unwording. So if the figures are coming in, then they'll be trying to make sure some more stability. So it will give them an informed decision. It will give them an insight, and it will give them a notion and prepare them. So make mawini abana so muni abano. And yes, they are going to prepare a software. As our software, no 16 regions in Yaba. If they are leading, if they are winning, if they are going for a runoff, if the NPP is winning or something. And it's here. Asiedun Ketia ekokosia NDC for no catch omo say. Or can of credit chomo. The reason why they lost the election is say chairman of Ofosu Ampofo amwa. Nature one say. Thank you. NDC had no concrete results to fight 2020 elections in court. Asedun Kete in alleged leaked audio. Asedun Kete can say get to himself voice, no any voice. Or say it is not doctored. Or say it is not doctored. Tio Asedun Kete account. Or say it is not doctored. This Asedun Kete talking. Asedun Kete say. Omo jabi bia ma chairman of Oswan Pofo. Omo jabi bia ma chairman of Oswan Pofo no. Resources started say urban. When 5 regions came, their system crashed. DT. Or say 5 regions started say urban out of the 16 regions, you know. And a mako 5 baby, you know. Their system crashed. And to mokra figures are no mokra de kra nim no. Na nye be ni sa figures na easy wo. Because their software or their system ya hijack ya crash it. One, thank you. That's me that's what say. NDC had no collateral results for 2020 elections. As said in leaked audio. Way 13 December 2022. And we tell said Unketia. A Horika catcher say MPP EC4 or say NPP EC orchestrated our defeat in election 2020. Or audit a hon audit what the actual Ghana for. Or Bobby Shannon call for someone say catcher or say. Or catch on say about 1 year 2 in 2020 no. Now NDC for any collateral results for election 2020. I said Unketia coach NDC for no cast has him. Don't say when 5 regions started coming and their system crashed. A crash here. The figures are eba nyinano. Omu figures are eba. And to modi petition no echo where fen chachuchi kata hono. Ena chachuchi kata kacho amsa mu de mu kofi. Me be hwem ade a chia no pa moma. Oba no mse boy. Na de petition amodi abayi. Wo so wo hwem a me kenkan mu a. Ye de asem no kokogina court ye ni mbegu ase. We don't have any evidence or evidences to make sure say ye beti nyako. And they have to persuade this man. They have to push him because an NDC person and Okoko PM court. Omoko PM court no. Look at the kind of embarrassment I see doing Ketiana Metrun means Amkum. Obetina Milu, NT, Yamami Biscuit, NSA Mano. The primary responsibility of every political party in elections is about how to collate your resource. That is the primary responsibility. And so yes, Kwaba. Nasa Bana Yakwakotono. Nasa Yam make sure we 1 year a cause for worry. I'm going for a short commercial break. Meba. Today we go deeper. We will not allow politicians to play with our minds. We tell you the truth. The truth is always stands. There be a catch. Yakoba. Yakoba the effects. See a two about now there is violence. The kind of effects are edeba. No more as to other countries. We should not joke with our peace. We are going for a short commercial break. Everybody is here. As I am live on A2 TV, call this show Inside Ghana. Madika Culture said, this is an independent show. This is a neutral show, not biased to any political party. My duty and responsibility as a journalist over here is to give you credible news, to tell you the reality. The truth is a bitter pill, and the truth always stands. Madika Culture said, if you look at these political parties, Madika rule from 1992. And I'm doing back kakra MPP as well maka NDC as well maka. Mama who said these two political parties anytime they back opposition biano bakuni is no problem anytime baako opposition bia no baako ni EC no problem anytime so baako so power bia no oni EC ni fine oni EC ni fine and macho from 1992 MPP sama dia ba ebesi 2000 ma from 2004 they ba makani nya dia kyerew and I've given you series of examples my more pictorial evidences showing say these two political parties udo machia you have a problem. I'm telling you udo machia you have a problem. Now listen to what the NDC is saying today. The NDC that says that the EC is too credible. No, now the NDC is having a problem with the EC today. The NPP that said the EC was credible yesterday, yes, no, was also having a problem with the EC last years and then yesterday, yes. So it tells you, so these two political parties, anytime they are in opposition, anytime only power biano, they have issues with the EC. Sure, me, I have a worry and I have a problem. Now, if you look at Ghana, we have given so much power to the executive from where I sit. That is my candid opinion. Where, if you look at election 2020, per the police sheet and police report, almost NIPA 8 in the way. Listen to me carefully. Almost NIPA 8 in the way. NIPA 8 in the way, it be a minor. It be a breadwinners of their family. Election year 2, you know, 8 people lost their lives. Where call the police for it to capture the Abba? The police for who could be a door to you. Now, if you look at the first term of Jane, 4 years of Jane, the reason why my partners will be a strategic now break. Every Obia or Ajuma or start out break, you learn on the job. There will be some challenges, there will be problems, but you have to make sure that our challenges, you are able to confront the challenges. You are able to make sure that you challenge need. And so it meet for 4 years. Now call 5th or 6th year. Then means say when it comes the nitty-gritty about the job, who in-depth knowledge about it. Who in-depth knowledge about it. And the young fan say, Jane, the first time as an easy person or buy, you know, maybe she was learning on the job. So the kind of problems will come, you know, we don't expect to see that kind of problems in 2024 elections. I repeat, me say, you see, you know, let's go to other countries because of elections and no SEC. Now the conduct of the EC before, during, and after the elections, and no SEC, we are not better than them. That's what I can say. We are not better than them. My again say Ghana did Yankopon be your bros. Yankopon, me say, Okola Cote d'Ivoire, they have the biggest basilica in La Cote d'Ivoire. In 2010, Laurent Gbagbo Ouattara, Omomienu Edia Boni, you nipa 500 in the year. Go and check in La Cote d'Ivoire. They have the biggest basilica. You amount for you, and then Laurent Gbagbo, na down for pa or Koneba, they sit and eat and dine and wine together. Eh, Gbagbo, Ouattara, na down for Gbagbo. It's a month for Kodu Macho Mukulu, you know, some would be a son fast one day. A son fast one day. We should not do as if say. As a day election, election be a Yakobia, no 2 year amount for issues about the elections. Yammy dear one for fee. This 2024 elections, Mami Jen will do my brutal. I'm telling you. Now, if you look at 2020 elections, in terms of percentage, not percentage, we don't want to see this kind of things in 2024 elections. They should do diligence in 2024 elections. I tell you. Because the NPP want to break the 8. The NDC want to delay the 8. I repeat, the NPP, they want to break the 8. The NDC want to delay the 8. These two political parties will be in break. And if you look at the NPP, will be any campaign, this will be any campaign. After Frantone Chadam will be any campaign. And the Electoral Commission, you are referee. They see in 2020 elections, whereby you change percentage, Bako, Mienu, Miensa, and 9 M1. You make it sure, say, due diligence. You hear the beer, we should not be in a rush. We should not be in a hurry to say there be here 3 days or 4 days. That be. Munyabutre. We make it sure, say, figures, I'm about bonting. Any percentage, I'm about bonting, biano, a kama. Whereby you no problems, bia. Whereby issues, biama. Because that is your duty and responsibility. Sure. Let's go and watch countries because of war. Where? What say? Several killed in attack targeting Somalia election delegates. aba ye kwa akoto e was Somalia Al-Shabaab was a heifer for suicide bombers just because they have problem with the government, just because of they have issues with it, and it tells you. So sadly way yan to the year near trust deans and be on fire one. South Korea America was a Yanko Pondom. South Korea Yanko Pondom. But if the system is working, if the institution is working, we have no problem. Just as Yanko also 2 killed in South Sudan election clash. 2 killed in South Sudan election clash. Where are you in? And if you go to South Sudan, I'm more trouble because of elections. Maintain one say no matter BBB and Antoko Bam Nipa Mienu Pa Omo. Nipa Mienu if you know. Because of elections. And it tells him say, I see it to true and normal you're going for this kind of elections, I'm telling you. Because I'm going to tell you so many things today. Now I say 2 killed in South Sudan election clash. Now Yanko, now if you look at other areas, baby ya to bar and tokwa asi yakum nipa de free one. I'm going to show you. Now say this kind of elections are yakon. And said the electoral commission, their roadmap should be free and fair. Elections na yakon. We should not suppress the will of the people. So Ghana 42 say breaking the 8 famomo. So Ghana 42 say delaying the 8 famomo. So Ghana 42 say afranto famomo. So Ghana 42 say cheda famomo. Allow the Ghanaian for no one can decide it. No one decide it. Because if you look at political parties here, Obia add in the manifesto in the plan about people are doing campaign. Among for kasa, among for church or munsemu, ereche obibia. So if you convince the Ghanaian, no the president is going to vote for you. Nipano obe trouble the amount. And he must say, hey, why is this any time that you election bia? And people will opposition they have problem with the EC. And this will opposition they have problem with the EC. Why? These two political parties should tell us what is the problem. Anytime you're going for elections, bia Sabako power. The power and party in power no on is any problem. I get easy be omo easy na say. The opposition so no. Do easy no so no. And the son man no e say when you. Ma make us am tell. These two political parties sometimes they play with us by you. Now one demonstration no. Ma who say bin katia ba wo. I didn't see. None of them demonstration no. Big men in the NDC man who I'm asking. But you see, you now won't tell me now. They are going to play with your mind. Because when you can't catch us, every person will be abandoning, every person will say, every person will say. But let's be honest, let's be sincere. So electoral commission, these two political parties, so electoral commission now, Mama be president, my party in power before. Electoral commission, you know, since 1992, 32 years of this electoral commission, 16, omunye de BND. Omunye de BND. 16, Mama ko 16, Womuso ko 16. Why is it say anytime I have a problem beyond people have issues with the EC? I don't get it. And then they should tell us. And then they should tell us. Because I didn't catch a free 1992 ba. The MPP for Kaye about the year 2024 the amount. The NDC for so free 1992. About the year 2024 the amount. I'm asking a very simple question. Why is it say anytime they have issues with the EC? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you see, these politicians, they create a certain kind of picture. Among Franko today, if there is war today, and I'm really surprised. Say the peace council went to Omonka. Really surprised. If you listen to key actors of the MPP and the NDC, the kind of comments that they are making ahead of this kind of elections, we should not joke with it at all. We should not play with it. Refugee and the papa. Refugee and the papa. If there's political instability in Ghana, I'm telling you, I see again for home, the aged and Kurano, Ayarefono. If there's political instability in Kuruma, how are you going to deal with it? Politicians mess them. Now, if you look at what the EC is saying, what say? Let's sit down. Let's solve the problem. The mate cry part that NDC for some demonstration beam. The mate and that's NDC for some demonstration. I want to ask a very simple question. Is demonstration the final way to solve this kind of problem? Demonstration, is it the final way? Or we have another way to sit the NDC, the EC, and the MPP and other political parties down and say this is the roadmap to elections. I pack no a year juma and I say a year juma. I'm asking. I pack no a year juma and I say a year juma. These are the kind of things they say beside home. Because no man air question. Let's think as ordinary Ghanaians. When you Ghana first. This is Ghana first. These political parties, where opposition are saying, where power are saying, where opposition are saying, where power are saying, then only the electoral commission was a tight corner. Can't send the electoral commission or tell that the no opposition now cast of electoral commission or now when you ban only is near one. Or when you ban now, no is near one. Do not so sorry on also is no errors say we are fine or no so ban only is no problem. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I want them to convince me. Because you know 32 years or my year juma 16 mesre both political parties mesre abawe ya kwakotu enye do or die abawe because I'm looking from a certain kind of angle and picture say obi so hwe free said there be e bia metena opposition for 12 years e kombede me ache obi said there be I want to break the 8. Let Ghanaians decide. Let Ghanaians decide. These two political parties, we become we. Let's think as Ghanaians. Let's reason as Ghanaians. But I call phone lines. So, pick calls. Then I come back to the studios. 0240 550 899. 0240 550 899. Also, bet my friend. Now the audio Ediaba. Your chef from 1992. These two political parties. Obi our power the oka obi opposition e wode oka what is the way forward e den yenye bet my yede aboa am on my Ghana and my fan into mapadi efra. This election should be a true and fair election and yes say case there be the EC should do diligence yenya adwuma no se bet to come 1 week kura do monye do be president only president e honto e wukruma. Yeah, hello,
good evening sir.
Yeah, good evening say.
Yeah, I'm part of my person me contribution kaka
me part of me ti pa boss
masemini na say I'm say Ghana switching NDC and MPP. Now, Ghana and Omzizia, no share all the countries surrounding in French countries, Francophone country. Anyway, we are called. Also, in Yabutari, said there, me by what you say, do opposition or no problem or easy. War by man, not it's maybe make market or in bed with what easy no. Sani mana di nfa ntutu ncha nema Ghana fona nkata nkyere omwadwen dio obewini no yemfa ma no dio obewini yemfa ma no na mesle so se yempenifo na omudi anim na mo insight se afiwa ba odi manwini a ebesi no omomfo omba endi anim omomfo omba endi anim on the day of that balance omfo omba endi anim omkoko ntukoma ba yen aka de obi no wo de we are tired of NDC and MPP too much from this country.
All right, that's a point well noted. 0240 550 899. 0240 550 899. Also, wait me back. Now, if you're doing come on, yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Me patch your man, so kaka me patch your mental voice cry.
If I madam ko lang Franko.
But I meet you.
All
right. Yeah, Uncle Boss.
I saw a woman in Ghana and this year.
All right, that's a point well noted. 0240 550 899. 0240 550 899. Yes, hello. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Nyame adomo, now so.
Make a little bit contribution.
I can't hear you properly, so position we in casa. Metonka.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me too.
All right, Metonka in casa.
people go on the two.
Yes, and two ni.
Yeah, and because division is you may just selecting people to be on the list. First, second, and oh, yeah, someone see your electoral commission.
Yes, I'll come there. Yeah.
You see, upon the say, I pack new one. Just smooth and simple things. You choose balloting, let's say, positions. Yeah, I think of course, we should be sure that I pack no. Say the political parties, especially this, almost stand alone. Means I pack because of so, who are hungry for power?
Yes. All right. Point well noted. 0240 5508 Nana. 0240 5508 Nana. Yes, hello. Yeah, good evening. Hello. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
I'm about to say I'm to phone. No beyond Surokla. A do about to say, and I've some delivery, I've been some Yenima. And he said, you hear the Obedi Kuni, Yami Abba, Yamidi, Lusaka, don't you see them? Now, the BID, Bombing Surokla, no beyond so. Now, the Bia or a baby. I'm not quite system, but
all right, yes, I'm 0240550889. Oko YouTuber, Pressland Sassevos, keep speaking the truth always, Franko. My soul is restless when I miss your program. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
If I showed in is an Akasa free.
Your friend is actually Makasafi and Sim.
Yanko.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Meet your power boss.
I am your program manager. I go point down. Now, you already say, what grants now or more because we've been there for 16 years. Again, another electoral commission, Yama, and on Yama. It is unnecessary. Demonstration only. Except in the table, and I'm the money room. This I will say, for example, for the money big demonstrators and one. Oh, yeah, which you know said they have to reason because she said that they are the third word. Ghana and anxiety, you're calling me. All right,
Mr. Medas, 0240550899. I say my soul is restless when I miss your program. Franko, good job on YouTube TV. Yes, hello. Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm on the way.
All right. Pastor, what is it?
The Don't be a mekasa. The American United say, "Kaso o mampani da mahama HC school dai e mo di ni foni bebre te kala ho."
Message o mine be se de yin frim. O mine de yenhye. O mine de.
Atam kan.
Mama nya na dwun so be show mine. So na ba me aso nya na dwun so be show mine no. So
ba bo de ma mi.
Me too.
Won ke o di ni foni te kala ho. Ti ani ho kasaye.
All right. I'll drop here now. Okay, 0240550899. We when your chamber say good evening, Franko. Good job to see you. Just do your work. The truth hit. And okay, the truth is a better pill. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
But
this is Netu.
Yes, sir. Netu.
Okay, then connect. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Mpacho is saying.
Nyame Adam na so e.
Nyame Adam. Say Matthew program no, but me wo problem kakra dey dia what chire 92. But
what kasa me say?
what if 92 up to today, both NDC MPP. Inti next round say almost problems you are almost one. Me person who say almost attack yes no almost attack yes no next round say bibi papa free ba say bia register no say bia enye ye hwe bibi wo mu bia saa ye no ye correct bibi anomu di bibi ma yisi no na yisi no so ati wasipom say the eye can eye na enye because latest we na yayi yisi no catch them say problem so mo mo fambra
yes
but mo fa bibi ma nti na me bisa sa nti ansa no be pom e bia ya sini na
me try to point well noted
ana catch say na akufo-addo kan say we no ye ni say ye ana mama kan say ye ni say no ye ana
all right
inti medal say
medal point well noted 0240 550 899 was with my friend also Bashono, so we call it Inside Ghana. Yes, hello. Yes sir. Me pacho didi say na aka say free
that's what we did everyone about team me free work get okum wanji.
Hey, what me come on there?
Oh, I don't say when you phone I can phone to that buo in yare.
Oh, what is na dwi?
We don't have no na say.
Na me adom me ho ya meet you.
Ah, you over there say. When it my pa oh for the boa. Everything my any kind of mine. I say every about to say it. Since 1992, Ghana to about I think there's already both parties now. NPP and NDC no say a benefit normally in the opposition no. I am normally no BT war drums na dey. But so you could see say NDC are more aggressive. Elections upon elections. Ama court. Ama court actually how elections are won. Everybody will say it is one-on-one for a police station.
Yes.
And indeed, me now say you say you know. Do so when you part in call online and as when you comment on liar. Normally I don't see it to be so. You see say opposition no na or practice issues no. Say the they will say like normal aircon and cool man. But meanwhile, so you know what am I very saying if na you could say you should be.
All right, me that's 0240550899. Also with my friend Ado the Aba. We agree on it because you are so fantastic. No wonder you are known as Franko the hater. Good job, keep it up. Yes, hello. Enka Osumira. Bibi awo ko die. Nyame adom yenko.
Bibi am bi so anu atafuja abosokan tenkinka motos. Rani baby kaya na no edin komo next. Ya mi show. And you know why Mr. Pa. But I don't know ya. The can happen. Mr. Pa.
All right, that's it.
And say the air cost so young money and the NDC for you no. I pack up idea a bro again and in yes. Now you Ghana for the now not the akufo-addo say obey free education. I'm a if you dear one a rubber. If you dear one a cracky. So your mama has not that at the end of a school for the company on camera say it is a guy and I'm not doing one school. Also open the club of Malaysia. So you get in free. Also education yet.
Maybe say campaign. Maybe say maybe so as him. What's an income? Maybe so as him be. Mira, and because of free education, be how be our own mean registered in displeasure. Me say because of free education, be how be our own mean registered in displeasure na.
Me say be how and your Ghana policy. It is said be how no. Okay, what you say na about to say amount like and ka obetumi and the president of Ghana to know and the Ghana Agyapong they say a man that it's the one who be katano you talk to so bi betu no for support nkwala no udo mahama o so bia ma mechi also o dire na to abo e ba party so tete o do what ma ko yi so na ade ba ko ha me say that na say no tete ka e bi sa no ne ne ma e ne bi so ko e ni Ghana ha o bi na akọ buru no so you see na oye da so bia o be people so bi ko na so pa ana o te be bi ko no o yere no ma ana o bi so ko ni Ghana ha. All right. Point. That's okay. Tell me, can I say you to know somebody now? About you, imagine now, pa. Let me give you Trump. Not that it's by me. It's about the other people. Then Trump and someone at Japan. You know, my papa, my young. I will not trust my Johnny to me.
All right, may I ask you 0240550899. Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to contribute to the program.
Yes, you are welcome to the show. Your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, me too.
Please off the volume of your TV set for me.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, then let's go. I'm listening.
I think station Canadian Agyapong station or you campaign for MPP, but it seems as a near all your most so more year counter a ornament. Yes,
me pacho who show me free the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Yes, started showing me pacho send any panel start.
We also said there no say we want to win the election, no. And she said the program should focus more on the achievement of the MPP rather than say that type of thing. But when depending on the so mature to say, I do how kind of better see but the achievement of MPP will help us win because we have near NBC for the can I intimate kind of question at any many people they should be told the facts set Yana Council no require more first when we are then airtime. The peace of the nation, but demonstrations Kasa no de have seen Katiam Penifon, Yatisana Casanwa. Who's a Kenny Pabum? So, you have to be for an hour reserve that. Definitely, the Bianca Tokwaba. So, Kenyasu or Gumwadia, for instance. On the machines, no, Obibel, even Penifo, Cranoko, Chisaka, Chain, Bronco for what is this? Oh, no. No, I'm a case I choose a many because Penimudia, we are Penini. Oh, yeah, dear, you have to do the right thing. Madam Morsi. All right, Madam Morsi. Debbie, because this show is a neutral show, not biased to any political party. We speak the mind of the ordinary Ghanaian. We tell you the reality, and I always say the truth is a better pill. Hello?
Uncle, but good evening.
Good evening, say.
That's how I met two.
Me bacho say?
How I met two.
I met two, yes, I met two.
I met two, what is here?
Meet you.
Uncle.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Meet you, pa boss.
My person, if you use that, I'm going to quit you. Look, we check on a phone. Hello.
Yeah, meet you, pa boss. Meet you.
Okay. Singer, we went to about anything. Look at me, when you use that. Look at the new gun, TV station now. Maybe I know where election and because of that second of Hano. Yes, because you can't have a coach or better than or better anymore. You have to know all the other Ghana. And you can see how about the short treatment between two. Daddy, if you can say that you can Yamila, that's what that's about. Okay, but this is real quick. Okay, for it's a YouTube, don't let him down. From check amount of movie things. You could do home or could go or election or campaign. Could you do this? You could that will if you do. If you can reach your mouth for no month, because you're young bank could mom and bank could then your bank could be who find the bank could be. You will not need to do it.
All right, that's a point well noted 0240 550 899. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Evening.
Good evening, sir. Bibi, I work all day.
Nyame adom akora na mo hwe.
Nyame adom di ne se na akasa free.
Daniel me kasa fi abeka.
Yenko.
We juma na mo yana juma pa. Na mo ya sere NDC ni MPP. Titu ni NDC. Se yisi de bibi sa abeto ho a ti bibi ase amon ko na mo no nko traffic. Ba to wa twema mo to mo ba ko meka he. E no se ye ko demonstration. Na demonstration ya mo ko yi me se bi sa wu. Na e se din ke ja ba ka ho ana. Na former president ba me ba ka ho ana. What we say or say Direpo no ewu so obi fo ni tar ho a why na me se bi sa wu. Ni ya school dana ma ko sisi ya na me fo ni tar ho no. Me se bi sa se sika na ni boto mu sika na odi si e no ma ni sika. Mo basa ye odeba. Pato man o peni kresi en kan sa semu. Se o bi so bi fo ni tar ho mo why. Adenti na wo dan ya wo sisi ya na fo ni tar ho. O fe ni o nti ni de na ko ga ti ya why si ho. One achievement, what they are winning in the no. If you should be on the bar, no achievement. So be able to say, this is a political party, this is a woman job. But we don't say, we be a bar, young one too. A person like as we go back, but say, a woman too, we difficult one, your party. What would you know? That's a the panel. I shall say, me, because we are this is the category and it is that a young wife. And we are from when. Na ninya afile na eba no
okay
yes sir mo ngi da mama ni kata no yes sir o kata onyo mpemete o mutino no mo ntan o mo ni ntan do o mutino papa na se mo kika bi no e do ha o yi ni beba.
All right, me that's 0240550899 was with my friend and then me say me mama time it's a serious matter. Let's deal with it. Hello,
Good evening.
Yes sir.
So let me one in Abusuka.
Me ba so mo ane so kasa free.
Me da was any papa wo ye. Esre ni anu ai o ti program. Enu o mo show program. Esre o. Se o mo ma yenji tu se no de. We go as na so bo abasua on show di. Ma wutna e bia ese wutna. Emo so obogo ti kakra na okanfu kakra. Emo wo kenya wo mi ye bibi e achieve ni o pese wo achieve. Asase program bi no NDC. No baka MPP. Ah, c'est na ko ke de position. Nese c'est so we tuma. Bisi wo bebe so juma no o timi ni juma yi. E ka cho se me di letter commission de tiafem. Oko ye juma. E to party mbra power. So ngamani mahama etisi. O ye juma di eti almost 1 million votes. E di to me free on ngamani mahama. So I say, but any of you can minia. O ko ti na baby. Di your friend is Bauniatum. The Munia over Preco. The Munia over Preco. The Munia over Preco. The Cacrimoa, some of MPP more. One is over Yan. Say what a Sarah. That's a lot of Honoma Zungu, and incredible for. Those who said, Nasara could be taste. And I Nasara coordinator national. At their press conference, at the insist at the now we can't hear about Yana. But and then we will cast some this year. We will cast them and I won't get here. And so come on, and so come up at you. Then we must have a coordinator and say, Opa, no, but you can be about me as a police, Cremoni, we pray. That's what I say. But almost to hope, okay, then the 2 years and so on in Juma. So I say, it is a money, sir. That's one of the big. Yes, all criticize Sua, and yes, all on the move, and yes, all the party. Party be Muntia, thinking all pursue. Sorry, na yet, Martin. Check Minia and your free education. Which is under any disciplinary buyer. After by this time, who free school on more control, and come up and I think what Lani will breathe by this time. So I say, but your child, Lani Sarah, and a Kuala Organize your politics, politics, who your politics,
organizing Kuala, of your from the cow, of my wolf, to our numbers.
Okay. Point well noted. My 2 point is 0240550899. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I saw a family payment.
Pacho Kasafri.
Kasafri Michelle.
All right. Yeah, I'm boss.
And you know, Michelle, I work in Agyapong. My president back up. Obi a Michelle and Ninsan committee president man na ye huntoye. Na anukware a eyi ahwe oman no mu. Sisi a wo hwe de ekoso wo oman we mu a. We beka say me ye MPP ninti no. And what's a Mika? Are we Ghanaian?
Yes.
Are we talking for the country? Are we crying? Who the Ekosona? Yes, Suma or mine, I dream or mine one, I say a dream party. Obi better say me MPP means you know what is going on. The Ekosona Ekutia or mine ye jam ye nanan mudi omumo jadi sacrifice ma ye. And sana ye be do her ene. The Ecoso or mine mu galam say ni yama Ecoso na ye isu ni yama say ye japade say no. Obi beka say me MPP ni ntu no ye ba be tu abante ma no nka. Ye tu abama nana akufo-addo say ombe ligi omai na youth no na omai mu ye hu ntoye na ye nansuo papa no na ye hu ntoye ene hwe de Ecoso wo Ghana. Obi anka wo asem. Yes, sorry, MPP for the day. So Anna Mahama. Yes, sorry, Anna Mahama. Yes, sorry, Anna Mahama. They be a Mahama. Yes, topic. Ama MPP for from 2016 up to now. Be a blaming Mahama. Even the way campaign team crown or more sorry, Gina be a Mahama na target. Why we can't focus on what you have done?
Thank you.
And no more Ecoso no. I don't want to be focusing on campaign. Every day Mahama is the topic. Are they? And the young channel Ghanaian, yes, say Subaru, yes, say Subaru, or money say, I say, and find this in the MPP room. You may Ghana and into Mecca. And so we can talk about my MPP Mecca.
Yes. Medasi Bibri 0240 mefa 12 calls. Then I wrap up. Nyame Adman next week. Minim Samotia. There's been a survey in a patch said there's going to be a rerun in the 2024 elections. We will go deeper into it next week. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I make a contribution.
Thank you. I want to listen to you, my brother.
Should I talk?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Yeah, you're on air.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that MPP, NDC, and other people cannot solve any problem at IPAC. Because looking at what happened even this evening, when they were selecting position for the various presidencies, it was very, very pathetic. No understanding. So, if they go to IPAC, the same system will be shown by the NDC and the rest. And secondly, if the NDC says they don't trust the EC, and after all demonstration, they have to present their papers to the same institution they don't trust. What makes that useless of what they did? Everything. I don't understand. You don't trust the EC, you demonstrated, and send your resolution to the same institution. Why not elsewhere? So I think the NDC should be advised, and I know that it's only God who accepts who can rule a country. Thank you. All
right, thanks. Let me pick the final call and come back to the studios of Net2. We record a show inside Ghana. Meeting the Franko-Addo with my friend Franko. Yes, hello.
Hello, Franko.
Yes, sir.
If I'm a partner, I'm a cafe.
Yeah, uncle.
The nation, they found a family. The frustration of no could take.
Jinaye, wala ni breaki. Oh, Jinaye, mami, Jinaye, ye. Oh, yes. Final caller, hello. Hello. Yep. Good evening.
Good evening.
Me pachodini say na kasa free.
Me pacho me kasa free tema.
All right. Pachodini say.
Within the lazy.
Lizzie. Sister Lizzie Yankwe.
Yo. The fashion program media, ye need you, ye share it in so. But I see an eye about one. Baby, I was saying, you ma, and cabanano. A new ma, akufo-addo iron. And I above the roof.
Yes.
Aha. Inti, no how kakra me one no. And then I make her.
Okay. And then there was my work. Let me come back into the studios. Madike Kasa, the NPP communication team. It is not my duty and responsibility to preach the agenda of the NPP. See, I'm a journalist. I'm a neutral person. And the NPP from projects you bring someone over here, the person come and sit down, he explain the projects. If there's question, I have to ask the person. I'll ask the person questions. I'll probe the question. I'll probe the person. Not just there be. Me the message show radio is an independent and neutral show. Timetnasia, I speak for the voiceless. I speak for the ordinary Ghanaian. Nipa mo problems omo kom no. I'll try to make sure I tell people. Say this is the problem. And me, baby, I mean opportunity be a make kasa bia no. It's about Ghana first. It's about Ghana first. As I'm okay, the NPP communication is down. Makamesia kabib. The NPP communication is down. NPP communication is down. And they are not able to preach it and champion it well to the ordinary Ghanaian. Where? Mamen ka sam kirem. Now me catch some say baby Yesu Christo ko ye bia no. Go and check Yesu Christo. So kona sa fisherman from kokosi omo a, he speaks the ordinary language of the fishermen. Ono mu din komo etwa hom for you di kire omo. Ama asem na wakromo te asem na se. Okona so ko play carpenter for mu a, o ka carpenter for kasa de kire omo. Ask yourself, MPP, the kind of communication is it going down to the ordinary Ghanaian or not? Ask yourself, so they've done a survey and a research. They are saying that this kind of election is going for a runoff. Now, me have my next week, I'll go into it. I'll give you the reasons, behaviors. A person called runoff. This is one of the most critical elections that we are going for. Always I say, the NPP is desperate in breaking the 8. The NDC is desperate in delaying the 8. About we one can count programs no police one can yama Ghana for antiasia. Akwa kwese wu senso de gupan mu no. We be senso de guabonten. The NPP for adwuma ye, NDC for adwuma ye. Omo adwuma ni omo so kese pa is electoral commission. Omo adwuma ye papa. Justice Monfanto so say you know how you are and that's no election 2024 presidential ballot positioning. You feel na kodon bete spiritual interpretation. Na best at yaba. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia for the New Patriotic Party, the number 1. Daniel Lathe Jr. CPP. Ekwadonko number 3. So and Christian Kwabena Andrews Gum order number 4. Kofi Akpalu LPG order number 5. Number 6 Mohammed Frimpong. Number 7 Nana Akosua Frimpong. Okay, on the CPP then GCPP na Latino. The former President John Dramani Mahama, number 8. Hassan Abdul Ayariga, order number 9. Independent Kofi Kranti. Independent George Chumberema. Cheda Nana Kwame Bediako, number 12. Alan Kwajo Tremanti Movement, Asieho. Entino, Omoya Klo, Muye Makumaku 13. So, yes, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia Edda, number 1. Ballot order. Nyame adoma Monday wo dem beti on be chire mu sesi spiritual for no say numerologist for no on be chire mu, but still you have to work because there is a tradition in Ghana, there is a precedent breaking the 8 enya de ketwa. There is a precedent breaking the 8 enya de ketwa. It's breaking the 8 a cause for hard work, a cause for unity. Delaying the 8 a cause for hard work, a cause for unity. Allah Kwajoche Mantene Cheda, they can create problems. All this kind of elections. Never underestimate the two of them. Cheda and Allah Kwajoche Mantene. Don't joke with them. They be ameka. Me say, Obu Owa, Kwaya Befaswa Bekasana, communication is most important thing in life. Make my catch Alfred, they say, Dimachimianko heaven. Alfred Bekatch him so wonko. Messia catch Alfred Nasi Dimachimianko in Semjam. obedi machi me akobru nsam jam. It depends on how you communicate to the person. These two political parties any omo kan manifesto for any plan for no omo wadwuma ye pa enche ne ekwa akoto aba ye dwuma ne say obia programs ne policies or dey ba no you ask questions on behalf of Ghanaians won kan just the program ba ne jaw se kosa da bi sa mre metwam so bi dimi kan say be ya dey da bi o fundness ye hu time limit saying face is saying aba be ye no ye kwa say na wokonas anye ya what to be the plan B. Is it going to be a reactive or proactive measure? These are the kind of questions we are going to ask. It's not going to be the normal thing. And what do program no policies about? We will go deeper into it. My producers now, when so be at way who be a kind as a bisa question way. My main production team nasi or my idea papa and then anka ye expect say anka ye ne opani ba ko be dim komo but 1 or 2 issues being when timi ama me PM ewa ha yemfa channel production team show mo yemfa channel na anytime he gets opportunity our person baby ano yema namra na yenim komo. All right, and you know my main chair justice mincha ejando or mo na MC aro nyankopon shamo then we am chief of staff akwasi no mamenchia no na menchia Kofi Emmanuel Kofi mamenchia no then the evergreen producer the learning person lawyer Amodate executive producer for this particular show boss baby I will be an nyankopon onka ho na onya okese Brahima wo Kumase fashion boat wo so heme than boat fashion boss nyankopon onhraw enti nyankopon ya adoma ye be se next week Friday we call it Inside Ghana. Me di e de Frank Owusu-Addo obeti ma frame Franko the hater me kasa ye e bia me kan bibi ma ne hawo ye nipa asma me kan e hawo afache me nyame adoma ye besia hia until then peace shalom yakro bibia.